welcome to this CADbert presentation on how to create counters. We've created this separate tutorial for counters because unlike other elements, it's a bit more complex. So let's get started. We'll be adding a counter to this room in the corner here. So just like any other interior element, to start, I'm going to click on this reference wall, do an add, and do add counter. And then you just add the starting dimensions for your counter. So I'm going to enter in 28 inches deep and 7 feet long. And I want to position it all the way into this counter, so into this corner. So I'll enter 0 here and 0 here. And there we have our initial counter placement. Now I'm just going to zoom in on this counter. With your Android device, you can use the classic pinch zoom features. So I'm just going to zoom in a little here and pan down. Now, the editing of the counters to change the shape works basically the same as editing rooms. So to start with, I'm going to click on it and get into edit mode for the counter. And now I want to make this an L and add a section that bumps out here. So I'm going to click on this edge of the counter, and I'm going to add a split node. And since the depth of my counter is 28 inches, I'm going to set that 28 inches from the corner and click done. Now, when I measure from this point to the end of the counter, that measurement that I'm going to use is 4 feet 2 inches. So therefore, I'm going to click on this edge and I'm going to move it, and I will move it 4 feet and 2 inches. Now, to navigate from box to box here, you can just you can click on the box, or you can just hit the tab key. I'm going to hit done here, and there I have my bump out. And as in editing room mode, you can also click on the individual nodes if you need to and move them. And I'm going to do move relative to self. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to move it 1 foot in this direction and 1 foot in that direction. Click done, and there I've moved my node. In reality, I don't think anyone has a funny shaped counter like that, so I'm just going to undo that. Now, one other thing to note is that if you are zoomed in, I'm just going to zoom in again. You can get back to full screen mode just by clicking the fit icon down here. Even though the element is called counter, you can use it for any irregular shaped object that you need. For example, down here we have a walk-in closet, and we use the counter element to make a U-shaped shelf for that closet. Up here we have an irregular shaped stove, and so we created that using the counter element. Here's an actual counter that has a slanted edge. And then up here we have a couple of other walk-in closets that have L-shaped shelves. When using the counter element in a kitchen environment, certain elements will be placed below the counter and certain ones will be placed above. For example, here we have an island with some lower cabinets, and the first click on this island will select the counter, but then the second click here will select the cabinet underneath. Now I'm just going to zoom in over here, and in this corner here we have we have 3 objects overlaying each other. We have a stovetop, we have the counter, and then we have a cabinet underneath. So on the first click here, the stovetop will be selected. On the next click, the counter will be selected, which is just under the stovetop. And then the third click here will select the cabinet at the bottom. Thank you for watching this CADbert video. You can find additional resources on our website or additional training videos on our YouTube channel.